You are now checked in to Stand Up New York Labs. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Mark, fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
Nah, that's terrible.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. We are really doing it here, folks. Tuesdays with Stories, everybody. I am hungover. And Mark Normand. To my immediate front is
Joe List.
Aha.
I am well-rested and also Joe List.
Yeah.
And we have a special guest here. No, well, I don't know what's special, but we have a guest for sure.
Yeah, he's retarded.
The most dreaded words in podcasting. We have a guest.
Boy, they hate the guests.
That one guy with the mushroom cloud icon, whatever you call it, he really hates the guests.
Oh, Tiny Spence?
Tiny Spence, is that his name?
Yeah.
I never remember names, but he's got a bomb situation, which scares me.
Yeah.
And, boy, he hates the guests.
He hates them.
But fuck you, bomb boy.
Yeah.
'Cause we got a hot guest in here, and he's got a list full of things.
A
and he
Joe
just
list.
revealed a little something that hopefully is going to come up here.
Oh, it's coming up.
This guy. Mark, why don't you say his name? Because I have no idea what his name is.
All right. Well, in studio we have the talented,
Mr. Ripley.
the charming, the gay Joe Carg, everybody.
Joey.
Big Joe. Cargo.
Cargo
Yeah.
ship. Cargo pants.
I'm gay. I'm coming out today. Here we
Woo.
go.
All right.
Going back in.
But you're no stranger to the ways of the flesh.
Oh, no. No. I love the flesh big time.
Would you say you're an addict?
You know, I think I used to be.
Oh,
and
yeah.
now it's cooling down a little bit. And now it just it feels like I'm just going to be like one of those like Vietnam vets later. It'll be like, oh, yeah, don't mention bloody buttholes to him.
boy.
He's
Bloody
seen it
buttholes.
all. And I'll just stare into the distance.
Wow, you went all in.
Now, are
Yeah.
you mid-30s?
I'm 32.
Yeah, I think that's when the sex drive starts to go down a little bit.
I got to tell you, I'm actually kind of loving it.
Yeah, I bet.
I feel like, what do you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I just like, I feel like somebody else is driving the train now a little bit. I'm like, hey, I can focus on comedy and my drawings and
Right.
get some sleep and not drink so much. And
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
it's kind of nice, yeah.
See, I get hit with sex drive waves.
Aha.
Oh, yeah.
Like all of a sudden, this happened to me yesterday. I was on the train with our friend Greg Stone, past guest, of course. And all of a sudden, I was like, I'm fucking horny. I had a
Yes.
boner. I got a boner. I
I've
just
had
wanted
that.
to. Like we were just talking about, fucking Slippery Pete and poodles, and all of a sudden I just wanted to fuck.
Yeah.
And then it goes away after like 10 minutes. I had him take his shirt off, and that kind of quelled it a little bit.
That helps. Slippery Pete, what is that, a children's book?
I think so. It's one that we were supposed to be working on together, and then Joe was going to illustrate it.
That'd be
I'll do it.
nice.
That'd be good.
But,
I had a thing. I've been here for 10 days, and whenever I travel like this, where you're sleeping on couches and stuff, you don't jerk off.
Yes. Yeah.
And staying with old Mike Kaplan. And finally this morning, sorry, Mike, I woke up, man, and I was just like, we got to get this. I can't go on this podcast and get on a plane without. And it just like so much came out. It's exciting.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
When you wait like 9-10 days, you're like, oh shit, man, you can feel your whole
Jeez.
palm up.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
just kind
nice.
of grease your hair back.
Oh, boy. Your hair does look nice today.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
this was right before I took a shower. I like to moisturize.
Got a good shine.
And, where was Kaplan? Because you skipped over that story. Was he still there? Did he leave the house, or he just
He was
helped?
sleeping. Yeah. He was
Oh,
just
okay.
sleeping.
He was sleeping.
But I thought it was okay. His girlfriend was gone, so I was like, she's
Yeah.
not going to walk in on this. That'll be good. But
I can't get off unless there's a sleeping Jew in the house.
yeah,
That helps.
They're poly anyway, though. I don't know how that works.
Poly,
Right? Yeah.
That includes
So,
masturbation.
I think so.
From a stranger.
he said don't sleep with her. He didn't say don't masturbate in her presence. So
Oh, okay.
I missed an opportunity there probably.
When I was like 14, my dad got a wild hair up his ass and said, "We're going to Florida." And we went to Seaside where they shot the Truman Show.
Oh, wow.
Amazing
Nice.
town. It's like a perfect town. Like no crime, no litter, no graffiti, whatever. So we go there. So I'm on a
Sounds
trip
diverse.
with my dad. What's that?
Sounds diverse.
Yeah, very. And we get there and we spend like 6 days there. And you can't. I'm in a hotel room with dad, 2 beds.
Oh,
so
boy.
There's no jerking. And one day he's like, I'm gonna go out for some breakfast items. And boy, did I abuse that hotel room.
Wow.
I had to do it 6 days pent up. I was 14. That was prime jerk time.
Yeah. Where is Seaside?
It's in there.
I had a similar story. When I was 13, I used to travel around the country. My family does like glass blowing, so they do these like festivals in the park. Yeah, and
that explains it.
I just had one of those horny bursts.
I like to blow hot glass. Loads. But yeah, I had the same thing. Like my uncle, he like stepped out to get some Chinese food, and I don't know if you guys are about my age. Like HBO used to have the what's it called? Like Real Sex.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I mean, when you're 13, it's like even when it's one of the lame segments, they're like, "This is how they make dildos." You're like, "Yeah, they make dildos."
Yeah, right.
But he walked in on me like right when I was coming.
Oh wow!
And, I gotta give it to him, man. He was real cool about it. You know, he was like my best bud, my uncle, and he was like, "Hey, I get it, man.
Oh man,
take your time. I'll be right back." He just smoked a cigarette, came back in, talked about it a little bit. Yeah, never brought it up again after that.
As you're coming, did he see you ejaculate?
Yeah. I mean, he like walked in, and I was just like going. I mean, I was doing. It's like you don't have technique back then. I was like on my knees at the end of the bed. I was like sort of like up on my knee because I was like trying to be. I was like close to the TV and just like jerking on and being like, and like the volume was down. It was like there was no remote there. It was like a bullshit like motel, you know. So I was like, I had to be close enough to be able to like kind of like flip the channel and like sort of jump back. And yeah, he came in and I had my hand extended and just was like coming into my palm.
Oh,
and man,
you come in
I was
the
like,
palm.
hello, just like come right on the TV screen. It was good.
Why the
man.
palm? You got towels galore.
I've always done that. I've never been a lotion guy. I'm always like a spit guy.
Jesus, this is horrific.
I
He
gotta
said
go.
make it dirty.
Oh man, well there goes the lady listeners into your palm. Now what do you do after that? Do you squeeze?
Yeah,
Make a
dude.
fist?
Shoot it back like an oyster. I don't like
palm.
oysters. I like my own cum only.
Oysters, that's gross.
Yeah. That's disgusting.
So do you still come in your palm? Do you flip your hand backhanded?
Backhanded? What are you talking about?
Are you laying down?
No, like, well,
Serena
nowadays,
Williams.
you know, I'll just be like sitting in a chair. Usually, you got the chair and the computer, and you just kind of like cup it under. I mean, nowadays, I don't know. I'm 32. Like sometimes I'll just come in a t-shirt I don't like.
Right.
But
A Tuesdays with Stories t-shirt.
yeah, I'm a college teacher. Everybody, I hope my students are listening to this. If you want to know how I come,
boy.
this is it.
Oh
baby.
man, I've had such guilt because we want the show to be spicy and sexy, but I'm afraid you're gonna get fired and we're gonna be responsible.
I love it. You know, I didn't like that job anyway. I'm trying to move to New York. Let's
great.
fast track it.
Well, Joe comes in his hand and puts it in his own eye and then spits it at students.
All right, how about that? I'm not trying to be hated by your listeners. I kind of want to jump into something good.
Get in there.
Sure, get in.
Well,
How about
man,
this?
I think this has been a great episode through 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, it's about to get greater.
I'm never going to shake your hand again.
That's okay.
All right.
I didn't want to touch you anyway.
Cool.
I do.
Fist bump.
I don't want the fist bump either. You close that fist, it seeps through the knuckles.
Oh, yeah. It's
I don't like a seep.
Spider-Man's webbing.
Oh, baby. How about this? How about the time? I'll tell you about the time that my mom was almost murdered by her husband.
Ooh.
Wow, not
pretty
your
good.
dad.
Not my dad. I don't know my dad.
Oh, great.
That's why I come the way I do. No one ever taught me. I come it backwards.
Palming.
No, my mom and I don't talk anymore. And we were like 2 years into what is now like a 6-year not talking. And she called me one morning. It was like 7 a.m. I didn't know the number. And I pick it up. My mom's crying. And she's like, "Oh, God, Joseph. Oh, Jesus Christ." And I'm like, "Who is this?" I'm like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "It's your mother. Kevin tried to kill me." And I was like,
God.
"Oh my God!" I started crying like immediately. I was like, "Mom, what?"
Good for you.
Yeah, sure. I was like, I was
just-
worried I didn't love her anymore.
Yeah, you're still connected.
Yeah, so I was like, "Dude, what happened?" You know, and she and her husband at the time were this is her 5th husband. Living in a FEMA trailer in Oklahoma.
Wow.
And he's one of these guys that like ex-meth guy, just like really brutal alcoholic. My mom's a brutal alcoholic. And they're just living in Oklahoma in a FEMA trailer. And she, the night before, had caught him using she was on his computer, caught him. He was going out and getting fucked by dudes.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah, like these, like he would just like whatever town they were going to. I guess he was like getting on Craigslist and getting these like construction guys to like just fuck him or whatever.
Jesus.
And
Well, you think she would kill him?
yeah, she likes it. I think a little
Oh,
bit.
okay,
My mom's
yeah.
kind of she's kind of saucy. I don't know.
All explains the cum palm.
Yeah.
Keeps coming
But
back.
she was worried about it. She was like, she knew she wanted to confront him, but he had a gun, so she took the gun and gave it to somebody else in the trailer park. And then when he got back, she confronted him, and he tried to choke her to death.
Whoa.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah.
And how
so-
did she wriggle out? Did she wriggle?
She said she just wriggled out. Yeah, he's kind of like a skinny. He's like a meth guy, So my mom's she's like kind of not a tiny lady, So that's good.
I would love to be getting choked and be able to headbutt a guy.
Oh yeah,
wouldn't that be? I can't headbutt. It's too scary.
Although that'd be kind of hard though, right? Like if they're choking you, right, then their thumbs are like in your like Adam's apple, right? If you go forward, you're just gonna choke harder.
Plus, he'd have to be choking you really close to himself, like Homer and Bart.
Yeah.
He'd choke, he'd be arms extended.
Yeah, I guess you'd have
keep
extended.
you far away.
Yeah.
I guess you got to go for a nut kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kick would be big.
That'd be good.
Or spit in the face and hope that he's like, my eye. You have bad breath or something. I don't know.
But yeah, so she breaks away and gets into a bathroom, calls the cops. The cops show up. And then as he's getting arrested, he does this sweet move where he takes the car keys and like throws them into like a cornfield. Like they're in this like area where there's like a cornfield. So he gets arrested. And then she calls me the next morning and she's trying to find the keys in this cornfield. Can't find them. Nobody's helping her. And it's like this like race against time before this guy like makes bail and comes back and like finishes the job.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, so she can't get away.
She can't get away. She's stuck there. And she searches all day. Finally, she finds the keys. She sells the FEMA trailer to somebody else there, sells his gun, sells everything out of the car, and like races to the next town. Everybody in the family's going crazy. Everybody's worried about her. We're saying, do we got to fly across the country? What's going to happen? We love you, even though you're a bag of shit, but not right now because you almost got killed.
Yeah,
right. But she's bipolar though. So it's like within like by the end of the day, we're like, so what are you doing? She's like, well, I got tickets to this comedy show, so I think I'm going to go to that. I'm not going to come back immediately.
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
And then it was kind of like just diffuse the whole thing. Like it was like I've never seen an entire sort of family unit go from being like immediately concerned about somebody to being like, what?
Yeah.
Like, interesting.
It's like, are you trying to get killed? What are you doing? And she's like, I'm going to go to this comedy. I don't want to lose the money on the tickets. I'm
I can't miss Bruce.
Yeah.
Wow. So, do you remember who the comic was?
Yeah. It was Ron White.
Oh, funny guy.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, you don't want to miss that.
Yeah. Wow, boy. So she's a very sick person, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. And what's horrible is like she's still with the guy.
She's back with the guy.
Yeah, guy gets it. She sells all of his stuff, goes and sees Ron White. She says, great, really funny. Yeah. And then drives back across country, stays with my grandparents for a few days. That guy gets out of jail, realizes all of his shit's gone. He's like, all right, well, and then flies back to Pennsylvania where they live. And then within a couple weeks, they're just back together, just kind of doing it. And he's like, I'm sorry, I was getting fucked by guys and tried to kill you, whatever. I love you, baby.
Wow.
I think it's actually pretty common in those types of like weird sort of, druggy, alcohol-y relationships, especially she's in her 50s. He's in his, I think they're the same age, both like 53, something like that.
Boy, it's like the rock and roll song Better Man.
Pearl Jam.
Indeed. Yeah, wonderful band.
What's that song about?
Abusive relationships. Yeah.
She sees.
Oh, can't find a better man.
Yeah, it's an abusive situation there, but it's a wonderful rock and roll
I gotta
song.
say, nothing good comes out of, except for corn. Nothing good comes out of a cornfield.
Oh yeah,
not the band.
The band.
They stink.
There's a band?
Corn.
Oh, corn. Yeah, they stink too.
P.U.
But it's like crop circles. It's children of the corn. It's rape. Whatever you got going on.
Ever hear of Moonlight Graham, Mark?
No, what's that?
Field of Dreams.
That was okay.
Oh boy, well,
a little overrated.
We'll have to talk after the show.
That's a nostalgia film.
Now, what is that conversation like when he comes back all choked up? Oh, choked up. That's fun. So what does he say?
You're choked out. I'm choked up.
Yeah, that's so fascinating to me that a relationship can continue after that.
I wish I knew. I feel like it's probably not much. Like he's like, like
right.
shrugging.
Yeah. I guess so, but she can't find a better man.
Right.
So she goes back to Chokey, but chokes a lot.
Yeah, that's actually, I think that's like a real sad thing about my mom. Like when you're a kid, you don't realize like my mom's always been kind of a nut, but like when you're a kid, you don't know, like we were moving all over the country and she would just burn bridges, with any guy. She'd fuck some guy and then we'd live in a sweet house. We always lived like according to like who she could get. My mom was like hot. She was a hot mom.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You got a photo?
Yeah, I'll send you one.
All right, I'll choke the chicken.
Yeah.
Mark is available.
I think she accidentally sent me a nude photo one time.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah. It's too late in the game, baby.
Is that not even on the list there?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
I got too much damage.
That's the photo I want, by the way.
I mean, this is amazing. So I mean, I don't even know where to start. But you have a list already, so just start throwing them out there because I have so many questions.
Oh God. Okay. I'll go into another thing. How about this? There was a girl I was fucking for a minute. We were just like hooking up, in Atlanta, and she was real into rape fantasies.
Yeah, she was.
Boy.
Oh man. And I didn't know how to feel about it, except aroused, I guess.
Yeah.
I would think I would be into that. Like, I'm not into the rape scene, but if my girlfriend was like pretend to rape, I feel like I could get into it.
Yeah,
Really?
it wasn't
Don't you
as hard
think?
as you'd think.
I feel like I wouldn't be tough enough. Like, I'd be like, get on the bed, please.
Yeah,
I would blow it.
But I
That
feel
is-
like I could get into anything that the girl was into.
Sure.
Eventually, I mean, peeing would be anything. Pee is weird. Anything.
I got that
pain.
written down.
Oh well, let's get to that.
All right.
Anything pee or pain, I can't do. But anything the girl was into, I could get on board. I think.
What about pegging? You heard about this
What's
pegging?
pegging?
Yeah, of course. That's where she fucks you. Come on.
Strap on.
Well, that's in the pain category to
pain.
me.
Not necessarily. You got to take it slow, buddy.
Oh.
Okay, well, let's get to that as well. But I feel like if it mentally would feel painful, the idea of something. I have a very small butthole like that.
I think I do as well.
Who's got a big ball?
My mouth, people that have, your dad has a big mouth, or your stepdad, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
The choke guy. All right, so it sounds like you've had a penis in your ass possibly by the last thing, so I
I
want to hear
haven't.
about that. Well, something in your ass.
I've got fingers and tongues and stuff.
All
Yeah.
right.
So that had to be a thick tongue to hurt.
Oh yeah, it did.
But where are we
The
going?
cat tongue, spiked.
You got such a list. Where did you start? I forget. I already lost it. Where were we just a second ago?
The girl, the rape fantasy.
Yeah, the rape
girl,
fantasy.
yeah.
Yes.
So
Rape
this
fantasy.
actually relates to Mark a little bit.
It
so-
rapes to
don't
Mark.
show the cups.
Yeah. So she would the first couple times I was scared about it, but she would get so drunk before she'd even call me to come over that I'd come in and she would just be like a rag doll,
Yeah.
And,
Living in a movie.
and also, like, there wasn't a lot of pressure because I was like, I kind of felt like she wasn't really that with it anyway. God, this sounds horrible now that I'm saying it out loud.
No,
But
it's fine.
I
Nobody
didn't-
listens to this.
I didn't hurt her, but her thing was like she would set out a jar. Once we got into it a couple times, she set out a jar of coconut oil, and the way that she'd want it, she'd leave the door unlocked, but she'd want me to kind of like open it and then like kick it in, and she'd already be kind of like passed out. She'd be like, "Come in, wake me up, fucking shake me around,
Wow.
rip my clothes off."
God.
She'd have these clothes, I'd rip her clothes off.
Wow.
And yeah, it was crazy. And then she'd want me to just go right at it, like coconut oil on dick, in ass, no soft stuff. And I mean,
Whoa.
No
yeah,
kissing, no hugging,
no nothing.
you look nice.
Yeah.
Is that a quiche you're cooking?
It was crazy.
Do rapists ever kiss, do you think?
I don't know.
Nah,
Probably not, I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe a
prob-
cheek at the end.
Not a good rapist.
Not someone doing it right. I don't
Yeah.
know. That sounds horrible.
And
But,
so now, were you into it, or you kind of were just dragged through the mud, or whatever you
God,
say?
she was so hot, man. I mean, it was one of those situations where I was like, I don't think I can, as a man, I don't think I can not have sex with this girl however
Yeah.
she wants it. She was
Right.
too attractive. She looked kind of like, this is kind of nerdy, but I mean, it was like almost like when they draw like Mary Jane and like the Spider-Man comics, she just looked like a supermodel, man. I
Oh,
don't know.
wow.
Like just like an ideal girl. I'll show you a picture.
Send me that one as well.
Yeah. But one time when I came in, she had Chelsea Peretti's like Netflix special on.
Oh, this is pretty recent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This was right before you came down the last time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And,
Yeah,
and
I
I
was
had to
thinking
like
80s.
kind of like rape fantasy, fuck her butt. And then I was watching Chelsea. I was like, oh, this is a pretty good special,
Yeah. Well, editing's a good
oh,
special.
pretty good
got a
combo.
cock in the ass.
I just I have like such a picture in my head of just like looking down and seeing this girl's like asshole just being destroyed, and then looking up and it's like the Italian guy in the crowd like putting salt on an egg.
yeah,
I'm like,
right.
Yeah, that's good.
Why do they have sex doggy style in L.A.? So they can both watch the Chelsea Peretti special.
Hey.
There it is.
That's a takeoff of the old Canada hockey joke.
Aha.
I'm turning to an audience that's not here.
That's good. That reminds me of that Bare Naked Ladies song, right? Where they're talking about having sex watching the X-Files at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Chick at the China. that
I
song.
never got into that band. I thought they were a real PU. I thought it was just cheese fest, cheese dick, whatever. I hated
Good.
it.
Yeah, I was like, it was like, I was perfect. I was 14 or something. I was like, let's do it all day.
I was
Bare
too,
Naked
but I was cool, Joe.
me.
What was their thing? What was their hook on that?
If I had $1 million.
No, that's their second big single.
Yeah, there's one that was
chicken to China, the Chinese chicken. You get it, and they keep on licking.
chicken. Yeah.
What was the chorus of that one?
Yeah.
X-Files
It's
on that
all
song?
my fault.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Woo-hoo. Yeah, that was
It's
that
all
one.
been done.
Yeah, that's all been done. Yeah, I guess they were all right. Now that that's kind of poppy fun.
It was poppy. They had a couple wacky songs in the 90s. Remember, I take a whiskey drink, I take a lager drink.
No, that was different.
That's not them. That's
I'm just saying. That's another wacky, weird group that we got into for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was like mid to late 90s. Because early on, we had Silverchair and Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam and Nirvana and
Candlebox,
and then Bare Naked Ladies came out, and people got into that, and I wanted to stab all of them with my Vitology disc.
I'm such a dork. I liked it. I like that Eiffel 65 or whatever? Like, I'm blue. That was like always on the bus. I'd be sitting on the bus being like, all right, cool, we're never getting laid.
Oh, you deserve to have your mother choked.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus. That song
That's
fucked
why
me
it
in the
happened.
ass.
Yeah.
Only kidding.
Okay, so
Yes. So what happened
So this
with
girl,
wacky
so basically, we did this a couple times, and then she tried to escalate it. She was like, "Hey, here's what I want now. You come in, tie me up, blindfold me, fuck me on the bed, then you leave and get a buddy to come in, finish it up."
Wow. The buddy system.
And I was
this
like,
girl's
I can't
a good
believe.
kid.
Yeah, I know. So I told my buddy Ismail down there in Atlanta. He's great. He's like a little brown guy who's great, and I figured his dick's probably smaller than mine. I don't know. And,
You're packing heat, I've heard.
I'm packing some heat. I'm not
right.
like
we're all
like some
packing
people.
Lukewarm.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm a thick dick guy.
They like it thick.
Yeah.
Like a can.
I don't know if you guys ever heard this. When I found out that I had a thick dick, I was reading Maxim when I was like 16 years old, and it said, you want to know if your dick's thick enough, get a toilet paper roll, get your dick hard, and if you can comfortably put it into the toilet paper roll, not thick enough. And I looked at that thing, I was like, Jesus, there's no fucking way. And I get my dick real hard, and then I go to put it in, and I was a little like pinch. I was like, hey, we did it.
That's a thick dick.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I could put mine and Mark's dick in a toilet paper roll.
That's good. I put both of your dicks in a Chipotle burrito. Did you see that drawing?
Oh, that's right. That was great.
Yeah.
Boy, that's terrifying. I got to try that when I get home.
Oh, yeah. Maybe don't.
Yeah, you're probably right. I can fit my dick in a straw.
So anyhow, she says this, right? She goes, I want you to do this. I want him to come in, fuck me, punch me in the face, everything, you know? And so I tell Ishmael, he's insanely excited. He's so ready to do it. And then it never happened. And I was like, oh, man, I guess, shit, that fell through. And then I saw you were coming into town, and I hadn't talked to her in a minute. And so I contacted her. I was like, hey, this guy's coming through. I know you like fucking, and you like to be a crazy asshole. Why don't you just come and fuck this guy? He's great. I was trying to get you laid.
Thanks,
she was so
man.
attractive, and I didn't care. What do I give a shit? And
what a friend.
She got so offended.
What?
She was like, who do you think I am?
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, are you out of your... Who do I think you are? The craziest bitch I've ever met in my life. What the fuck are you talking about? You're crazier than my mother.
You're tied up right now, giving me shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So have you talked to her since?
I choked her to death. Yeah. Sorry, Mark. You can still fuck her.
Was that a deal breaker for you guys? Did
She that was it.
Wow.
She's like, fuck Mark Norman. I'd rather be dead. Go to hell.
Heard
that little
before.
skinny dick bastard.
Yeah.
But she was up for Ismail.
Yeah, she was up for him. That was good.
But so how did that fall through?
It just
she found
fell
out
through.
He was
She's
brown
a
and
drunk asshole. She probably did it. She texted when she was blackout and then forgot about it. And I don't know. She was fucking 1,000 other people. What do I
How
know?
did you meet this broad?
Oh man, I was working on a TV show, and I'm like, I just got scared where I'm like, timeline's crossing over. Let's make sure. So I was working on this TV show, and
Hoarders?
she worked at a place that we were like, sourcing materials from. And oh man, I can't believe I forgot about it. I didn't even write this down. So the girl that was like dealing with me was like this like big woman, like this big middle-aged woman, and then this girl was like the girl at the counter, just like the hottest girl at the counter. Every time I'd come in there and like bring materials back and bring it back to set and everything, she would just flirt with me. They'd both flirt with me, and by the end of it, I was like, "Hey, this is the last day of the shoot. We're about to be done here, so I guess goodbye." And they were like, "No, we got to get drinks. And I said, "Okay, cool. Well, let's go out tonight." And I went out and I met up with them. They were both already like just fucking hammered when I got there. And I had one beer and a slice of pizza, and the big one was like, "Let's go back to my house." And I was like, "Oh, all right." yeah, sure. And so I drove the two of them back to the big one's house, and we get there, and she goes, do you guys want to put on pajamas? You wanna? And so it was great. She like kind of like gets naked, puts on these pajamas, and then she's like 350 pounds. So she throws pajamas to me and the other girl, and we, they look like parachutes.
Right.
We kind of have them on, and then we all have them on. And the big girl's like, what do we do now?
Oh, boy.
And I just took my dick out and I put it in the hand of the hot one, and I was like, this is what the fuck we're doing.
Gee, wow.
And, but it was bullshit, though, because I already had it in my mind. I was like, okay, I can't only give all the attention to the hot one, right? I got to like make out with the other girl and kind of like suck her butt and do all that stuff. So I was trying to go back and forth, but she was also aware that she wouldn't let me be with the hot one at all. She kept grabbing me off like the Hulk, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't fight her.
Like
and
you're
then
a piece of hot dog.
Yeah, I got to go down on the hot one for like maybe, I don't know, 2 minutes or something like that, or even experience how beautiful she was. And then the hot one gets up. She goes, guys, I'm a little bit tired. Why don't you do this? And I was like, bait and switch. This was the plan from the beginning.
They were in cahoots.
The big one was like, hey, look, I want to fuck this guy. He's not going to fuck me. Why don't you say you'll fuck him too? Stick around for a second, get out of there. Guy, it's never taken me so long to come.
Wow. It would really turn me on, though, that she was that clever and... Diabolical, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's admirable.
Yeah, it's admirable.
I feel like I sound like an asshole in this podcast right now. I
welcome to
gotta
my
tell
world.
a nice
What are you
story.
kidding? Well, first of all, I think you did a good job by opening with your mom having mental
sympathy.
problems. So
Yeah.
you're like, well, this guy, anything you say now, it's like, well, he was abused as a child.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of which,
Yes.
there we go. I was molested.
Here we go.
There we go. Good for you.
Rip my headphones out on that applause.
I think it was a best case scenario. Molest, I was 4. And
Yeah, there you go. That's the best case scenario.
Yeah. You don't want it any earlier or later. It's like right at that sweet spot of like, I don't really remember it happening. I just
Right.
like, I've been told. And also, why even tell the kid? Like I grew up with my family being like, remember that time you were molested? No, what the fuck?
Oh, wow.
What are you doing?
That's how it happened. All right, well, take me to the beginning.
Okay,
give
so
us
I'm at
the
this
story.
daycare, and there's a girl that actually, she had gone to high school with my Aunt Mary. And she was, she like ran this daycare, and she was getting all the boys to just like, she'd take them aside into this like bathroom or closet or something like that, and she'd have them pull their pants down, and then she'd just play with their dicks and touch their
God.
balls.
What?
And just kind of like touch their buttholes, have them turn around, like spread your butt open, that kind of thing.
That's horrific.
And and that's I think it went on for, I don't know, several months, and then some kid told their parent about it, and then that was a wrap on that.
It was only the boys.
It was only the boys.
You never hear about female pedophiles.
It's true.
Right.
They're out there.
Wow, you found her.
They're doing the Lord's work.
So how old is this girl?
Let's see. She would have been like 26, 27 at the time.
Wow.
That's an adult.
Yeah. I don't even know what she looked like, but I like to think she was attractive.
You hope so.
Yeah.
At least it's nice to know there's a girl there that likes small dicks.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes us give some hope to the gentleman out there with the toilet paper dicks.
What are you
Yeah,
looking at
it's
me?
pretty
Ah.
No, I'm not looking over there. I just like to see if you're smiling.
Well,
This is dead air.
sorry. I'm just thinking about a paper towel roll. I'm staring at it like it's...
Yeah, it's not going to be a good situation.
No.
I have a pretty good hand-eye coordination, whatever the term is. I could visualize my dick can fit pretty comfortably
You think
into
so?
a toilet paper roll. Oh, yeah.
It's like docking a boat.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get some bees to sting it or something.
Oh, yeah. Hit it with a hammer.
Oh, you're making adjustments on your paper there.
Oh, no, I'm okay. I'm just
all right.
crossing it through so I'm not retarded.
It's such a great list you have over there. It's beautiful because you're an artist. You have the artist hand.
Oh,
do
yeah.
most artists have good penmanship, do you find?
Not necessarily. I think comic book people do. You get really into like doing the word balloons, all hand lettered, crafted. That's kind of my jam. So,
Because you're a wonderful artist, too. We should talk about that.
oh, thanks. Yeah.
The middle and the end, but if you got more fucking... Whatever you think.
I got some more fucking
Bring on
stuff.
the juice, baby.
You drive
Okay.
the car here.
How about this? Okay, this was a good one. Maybe 7 years ago, I was on Craigslist. It was a particularly low
great
time
show.
in my life, and I was just like, you know what, man, I'm gonna just meet somebody off of here. I don't ever hear. I've never known about anybody who gets murdered. I think if people were getting murdered all the time, you'd hear about it.
It's mostly women. You're fine.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I contacted this woman. She sent me her picture. She was 10 years older than me. She was 35, 36, overweight, unattractive. I was like, yeah, let's do it. I don't give a shit.
Wow.
And I drove across town, picked her up from her house. The weird thing was it was maybe December, January, and her whole house still had like all Halloween decorations. It was like all Halloweened out.
Here we go.
And I'm such an idiot. I'm like, oh, that's fine. I guess she likes Halloween, you know?
Yeah.
So I get there, and she opens the door, and I immediately was just like, oh, what a nightmare. All right, let's get drunk, you know?
Yeah.
And I look in the house, and it just looks like a house like that someone's like squatting in, man. It's just disgusting, kind of like to look past her, and I'm like, oh, boy. And she also said that she had a kid. I'm like, where's your kid? And there's like a room, like the front room is just piles and piles of like kids' clothes and just like squalor. I mean, we're talking about real squalor here. And I was like, okay. So we go around the corner. We drive to this bar around the corner, just get fucking blackout drunk, but not me because I remember it. And while we're there, she's telling me it's like every reason to leave. She's like, oh, yeah, my last boyfriend, he was a meth dealer. And I was like, okay, cool. That's fine. I think no red flag there. She goes, yeah, he put cameras all around the house. And had a website where, people could watch me take a shit and piss and take a shower. And
wow.
I didn't know about it. That guy's no good. And I was like, yeah, that's all fine with me. This is all fine. Was it in the house that I picked you up from? She goes, yes. It's like, okay, cool. Maybe we'll film something.
This is what happens when you feel like you're going to get laid. You have that mindset.
I think I was just like, I was real depressed. I just didn't care if I died or got AIDS. I didn't care. Like,
wow.
I was like, whatever,
What's
man.
the difference?
Who cares? Yeah, we all die sometime.
By the way, I'm picturing the house. Remember, you ever see that movie, The Life of David Gale?
Yes.
I'm picturing that house.
Kevin Spacey?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's Melissa McCarthy. That
Is
plays
that?
that chick, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that interesting?
That's way back.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But that's who I'm picturing and in that house.
Well, this girl is less attractive. And
Melissa McCarthy's kind of pretty.
she's the comedy actress, right? Like the spy.
Yeah,
and everything. Yeah.
Heat.
She is kind of pretty.
Yeah.
I don't want to, oh man, I feel like this is not a good territory to go down, but like,
That's the good territory.
There's been so many times in my life where I'm like, okay, you're obese, but you're great. You're beautiful and you're funny or whatever. And then, and I try to be like, don't be a piece of shit. Just go out with her.
Right.
And then when I end up in bed, man, it's just like that ocean of flesh. I can't deal with it.
No, that's not bad. See, we talk about that. You got to be. I've talked with my girlfriend about this. You have to be attracted to the person. You can't help that you're not. You could be the sweetest, funniest, nicest person, but if you're not physically attractive, it's just what can you do?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what keeps me from fucking Mark and
Exactly.
Fattigate over there.
Yeah. Well, this girl,
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Shit.
Grow the hair out and shave, for God's sakes.
if I had it all to do over again, I think I'd fuck Mark instead, probably.
That hurts my feelings.
I'm sorry. Fuck you. I don't care. I'll jerk off later and come into my hand.
Thanks, buddy. High five.
Craigslist.
Spell your name in it. Oh, what great penmanship.
So anyways, don't feel bad about not fucking the fat girls, unless you fuck this girl.
I did.
Feel bad about that.
Here we go. This is back too. Like I have a hard time getting hard these days too, even if she's attractive. Like sometimes if I don't know you, and that's what I was talking about. Where I'm like, I feel like I'm just slowing down.
Right.
You know, it's too much anxiety to get in with a stranger or whatever, even if they're beautiful. But back then, I could just get hard anytime. And so we this girl tells me everything. I'm like in my mind, I'm like, she's got AIDS. She's got something. This is I didn't bring a condom. I was preparing to raw dog. I didn't care.
Damn. You were on the edge of life, baby.
Oh, yeah. By the way, just for anybody listening, I don't currently have any STDs, so that's a miracle.
That is a miracle.
Call me.
Well, this woman probably had only had sex with the one fucking
Meth head.
The film director over there.
Yeah, I sure doubt it.
Well, she's fat and gross and she's peeing online. I mean, maybe she's
but
not getting laid
meth
to
is such it's a hypersexual drug. That's why they all have AIDS and
I've never done meth before.
They all fuck each other. They got like a ton of kids. Any of these documentaries about meth heads, it's like they got like 5-6 kids because they can't stop fucking. And
Wow.
Sounds like they got more kids than teeth.
that's true. I've heard a thing that says that meth and doesn't actually damage your teeth. It's the lifestyle you're living that hurts your teeth.
What, rock candy?
Yeah, I don't know.
They also pick away at their skin.
Yeah, they do that. That's for sure.
Ugh.
That's gross.
That happens with like alcohol. People think alcoholism is bad for your teeth, but I think it's just the vomiting.
Yeah, I think so.
You have that rotten
Or
bile.
even like think about like how many times you get drunk and you're not brushing your teeth. You're just going to bed, know, and you're just and you wake up the next day and you're a piece of shit. I don't know.
Yeah. That was on my list of reasons to get sober. I would just skip brushing my teeth every night.
Yeah.
And I'd have like 50 Captain and Cokes and have like a sugar mouth. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
bad.
gross. Yeah.
How are your teeth now?
Not so great, but
Okay.
that's why I got engaged. Once your teeth go, you got to propose to somebody.
Yeah.
Grab somebody and go, I'm off the market.
That's what the British say.
Yeah, that's why they're all married over there.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
These are all facts.
I'd be looking for cameras in this.
I didn't care.
All right. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah,
I was like, film away. Here we go. I was about as thin as I ever was, so it was a good time.
All right, so you're with McCarthy. You
So
head back to the dungeon.
We go back to the dungeon. On the way there, though, she starts pinching me real hard. And I'm like, hey. She's like, yeah, you like it, yeah. And I'm like, well, no, I'll pinch. I don't mind pinching you, but I don't want to be hurt, you know. And
Yeah.
she kept going in. She'd bite my neck real hard, and I was driving the
I
fucking
hate
car.
that shit.
And yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm like, look, we're all having fun. But we get into the house, and I mean, it was just like a tornado. Like clothes were off, and we get in, and she's got like one of these L couches with like an ottoman, like a big ottoman in the corner, and we hit it. And then these like 4 dogs run in.
Oh.
And
We hate dogs.
They're all over us. She doesn't give a fuck.
Oh.
Doesn't care.
What are we talking? I'm picturing wet and brown and
Oh, yeah,
saggy.
you're absolutely right. They were like chocolate lab, black lab, like 60, 70 pound fucking dogs. And they're jumping all over us. And at first she's on bottom and I'm on top. And I'm like, okay, she wants it rough. Here we go. And I'm fucking pinching her nipples. And she's like, harder, fucking bite them. And I'm like,
Wow.
okay. And I'm biting them. And she's like, draw blood. And I'm like, oh,
my
God.
God. Meanwhile, you're
And I'm
kicking canines left and right.
I do. I have like one hand off to the side and I'm biting her nipple and I'm like trying to, like, I'm hard as a rock. And I'm just like start pile driving her. And, she's there. The pile driver, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm not
Also,
wrestling
draw
guy.
blood. You could draw it with a pencil.
Yeah, I grew up without a father. I'm
This
sorry.
feels like a fuck obstacle course. Like
It
you
was.
get in, you're like, she's 1,000 pounds. There's 800 dogs here. You got to keep moving.
It's
And
fun.
you're on video.
Yeah,
It's a show.
It was great. There was also, speaking of obstacle course, there was I really clearly remember this. It was Comedy Central was on, and it was that show that like Michael Ian Black co-hosted. That was like comedy obstacle course. What was that? It was like
I
an
don't
obstacle
know.
course show, kind of like American Ninja Warrior or something like that. Like anyhow, it doesn't matter.
Apparently, these sex fiends love comedy.
I know. I
Yeah.
love that you're watching comedy.
Yeah, it's great. This is the weirdest like comedian origin story. Like, and then it was that day that I knew.
Yeah, right.
So then the tide turns. She turns over, and now I'm on bottom. She starts riding me, and she keeps escalating. She's asking for more pain and more pain, and I just like reached my hand out, put like a thumb out, like I'm hitchhiking,
Yeah.
And I just full force like shoved it in her asshole.
Whoa.
And she lets out this bellow like, oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Whoa.
And like veins popping out of the neck, which was impressive because she was so fat.
Right.
And I was like, Jesus Christ, that vein had to really come through. And I'm there. I got like, I'm sure I've just got shit all over my thumb because
Sure.
why wouldn't I?
Yeah, leave
And,
it for the dogs to lick out.
Oh yeah. Well, don't jump ahead.
Oh, sorry.
So a couple minutes goes by. She keeps pinching me. I'm like really trying to like fight her off. She weighs probably 100 pounds more than me.
Yeah.
And finally she turns around. She's got like all doggy style on the ottoman. Before I can reposition myself, no shit, the dog comes up and just starts licking her pussy, and she doesn't flinch.
Wow. That's happened before.
It
Now
has
we're
happened before.
Wow.
Without a doubt. So now at this point, I'm like, well, what am I going to stop now? Shove the dog out of the way, put my dog in there. And
You got a dog
I'm
in the
just
fight.
pounding away on her, and it was great. And I was like, oh, gee. And the whole time, just in my head, like, what is my life? Oh, well, who cares? I'll be
Right.
dead tomorrow. And then I'm back on bottom. She's on top of me. Fine. I'm getting kind of tired at this point. We're in maybe like 25 minutes into this
Sure.
fucking, and just for a split second, I close my eyes and her hands are on my throat
Oh, God.
quickly. Like she was waiting for me to be distracted.
Right.
So I open up and I'm like, I'm like every breath that comes in, she tightens around my neck, and I'm like, okay, hang on. And then I try to like put my hands on her wrist to pull them away, and she's got leverage on me.
Right.
She's like above me, pushing down like 300 pounds, and I was like, oh my God. And it was the first time of the night that I was like, oh yeah, I don't know you.
Right.
Are you gonna murder me? Hey, this sure does look like a fucking murder house.
Right.
And like, who knows if you even fucking live here? You got Halloween decorations, that haven't been taken down in months.
Yeah.
I'm in here. Like, it looks like kind of like nobody lives here. You got cable though. Somebody's paying the bills. But like, so she does this, and I realize like really quickly, I'm like, I start panicking, like she's gonna kill me. I can't get her hands off of me, and I got to make a decision. I just like ball my fist up, and with everything I've got, I know it's like one shot, like Eminem 8 Mile.
Yeah.
I just rail her right in the ribs as hard as I can. I hit her as hard as I fucking could, and she falls down like a fucking sack of sand.
Yeah.
And boom, and then I'm like kind of struggling, I'm like struggling for air, and I sit up and I'm crying. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck, you crazy bitch? And I look down, and she sort of does one of these like kung fu movies. Like she looks up. I wish she had like a little bit of blood coming out of the corner of her mouth. She kind of like wipes it off. She goes, "Don't move. I'm gonna go get my dildo."
Wow. That's cool. You cranked it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. That's what she was waiting for. She's like, beat the shit out of me. I think she felt like she had to fucking provoke it out of me.
She's like Rocky IV.
Yeah.
You guys are really going at it here.
Well, I didn't train hard enough for her. She was Dragoing me.
Yeah.
Neither did Rocky, by the way. I don't understand the training sequences in that movie.
A lot of eggs.
Ivan's like taking drugs. He's running on a track. He's lifting weights. And then Rocky's just walking through snow. That's his whole training.
Well, he punches some meat at one point.
That's the
chopping
first one.
wood, too.
Yeah,
He's chopping wood.
Part 4, he's chopping wood, and then he picks up Polly, and at one point with a pulley system. It's really odd.
Yeah, well, they don't show the part where he's using all the steroids. Also, you know, they left that out.
Yeah. It's just like he's jogging in snow. I remember when I was. This is a quick side note. When I was a kid, I would watch Rocky movies, and I thought you could just run and he'd be tough.
Right.
Because that's all he would show. He would just run around
on the beach.
and it'd be super tough.
You had to have sweats, too.
The museum, the beach, the Siberian Huskies, whatever you call it. And then he would just beat the fuck out of it. So I would run and be like, I'm going to be tough. But there's a whole other thing to it.
Oh, man.
Steroids.
Speaking of Huskies, what are these pooches up to?
Oh, man. You know, I think at this point they sort of like chilled out. They were like, you know, the one got it. I think the other ones are just licking the pussy juice off of the first one's tongue. They're all getting in on it.
I've done that.
Even the dogs are like, this is getting out of hand.
Yeah. So she gets up. This is also like her house is like a ranch style. So like we're in kind of like the front room, and the bedroom's all the way back. She got to go down like a long hallway. Mm-hmm. So she says she's going to go get her dildo, and I didn't hesitate for a second. I just got up, grabbed my shit, ran out the front door, butt naked, got in my car, and fucking hightailed it out of there.
Oh, you made a run for it.
Oh, I made a run. Yeah.
Smart. Oh, I thought you were going to get into it, the dildo.
Are you crazy?
Well,
I was going to die. I would have died there.
She was going to use that like a club and just beat you with it.
Yeah, but you know, I never thought about it until just now. But I mean, like, I think I kind of like at the beginning of that date, you could call it, I guess. Like, I feel like I kind of had like a death wish a little bit, and maybe by the end of it, it was like, I want to live.
Yes,
you know, like one of those moments.
Good for saved your life.
Yeah.
Also, her life had to be shittier than yours.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
Helps. That's an eye.
Anyone that has dogs has a worse life than anyone with no dogs.
Yeah, I kind of love dogs. I miss.
Yeah, me too. I like dogs as well. Whatever you like, Joe, I'm into.
Hey, that's great. I like you, buddy.
All right. Thanks for having us. Whatever the right thing to say is.
All right, what else you want? You want some more dirty shit?
Jeez.
Boy, what are the categories you got?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'll take anal bleeding for 200.
We got...
How about this one? This is a quick one, I think. How do you guys feel about you have sex with a girl when she's on her period? You mind that?
Sure.
Not currently, but I have.
Fine with it.
I'll tell you my least favorite thing about that is it almost always
blood?
starts. No, I don't mind the blood in general, but I'm a butthole guy. I like the butthole, and if you start on top, all that blood leaks down into the butt. You can't engage with it. I don't want it. It's like your best friend's been shot. You know, you're like, oh, buddy, I'm coming in mouth to mouth.
Yeah.
Oh boy, do you like the butthole, huh?
Yeah, I'm a big fan, man. I don't know where it comes from.
Interesting.
I like a butthole.
It comes from the taint, right behind the taint.
That's right. You got it.
Yeah, I it's just the naughtiness of it.
That's the thing. I think, you know, like are you a Catholic guy? Is that the?
Nah, I'm a big atheist.
But I mean, your background.
My parents are I went to Catholic high school.
Yeah, I went to Catholic school too.
So
I don't know.
I
don't know if it's Catholic or what, but I feel like sex,
and
it's got to feel
ever.
bad. Like I think that's why I get into these situations. I've always attracted. My mom's like that too. She just attracts like insanity. You know, like I'm like, yeah, I want to feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like it's like that's what gets me cranked up. You know,
interesting.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? Catholic.
Well, I mean, you know, like Catholic guilt, all that stuff.
The
you
guilt.
know, you gotta don't fuck, don't say fuck. You know, all that stuff. So you know, then when you finally break free, then you're like, you want to do it all, but it's got to feel bad.
Right.
You know?
Interesting. So you keep finding girls that are all right with the butt business.
Well, you know, it's taken some time. The last girl I dated, she like that was the connection. Like now I've kind of gotten to a point, you know, like I don't know if you guys did this too, like where you're like, you know, you slowly find out the stuff that you're into, and then like, you know, I was with a girl for 5 years, and no offense to her, I still love her, you know, but we were not compatible sexually, you know.
No anal.
No, hardly anything. We barely ever fucked, you know?
Oh,
and
so you had to
when
go
we
half
did,
a
it was
decade
like,
with no anal.
oh, yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
But I don't care about anal sex, though. That's not the thing. I think it's just like the anus itself. You know, it's like little touching, little licking, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
give it a
It's just
smooch.
like, yeah.
Right.
Smooch, you guys talked about that I think one of the episodes.
Oh,
I don't know.
definitely. I'd like an anal smooch.
But yeah, it's great. I don't know. There's also I don't
Or an anal pooch.
This is dirty. Like there's a heat that comes off of it too when you get close to it. It's
Whoa,
like kind of like
that's
it's got some
called a
heat
fart.
on it. Yeah,
It's got showbiz heat. It's picking up.
yeah,
Wow. So you like a butthole?
yeah. It's great,
right.
man. It's
Well,
great. Yeah, but the last girl I did, that's how we connected. You know, she was this really
Literally.
cute girl. Yeah, we were just oh fuck, what's the name of the movie? The
Pootie Tang.
Forrest Gump.
nope, close.
Silence of the Lambs.
Fried green tomatoes.
Major
Human
League.
Centipede. There we go. That's how we were connected. Thank
You're
you.
close to
Yeah.
fried green tomatoes.
Thank you.
So close.
That's a butthole.
But yeah, she wanted that more than going down on her or fucking or anything. And I was like, cool, I'm game. But you know, here's the other thing. Even that's not as good. I kind of want them to like be like game, but not like it's their favorite thing. Cause it's like, if they're like, yeah, do it, then it takes the challenge or the danger out of it. You know, it's like, I want it to be my dirty thing that you're okay with, not your thing that we're both into.
Totally,
Interesting.
yeah.
See, I'm the opposite. I want the girl to be into. I want her to be like whatever she's into. I'm into.
Yeah, but do you have that?
Do I have that currently?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to do some convincing.
That's what I'm
things,
talking
but,
about. What you're talking about is a fantasy. You think that you want that, but what the actual joy of it is, like the thrill of the hunt, you know? You want to be like, you got to like, hey, I'll go to your, you know, horrible mother's house and I'll tolerate this and I'll do that, but then like, let me lick your butthole. And she's like, you know what? You're a great guy.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you do it.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
like my girlfriend's mother.
Do
She's
you?
English.
Ah,
Yeah, it's fun.
righto, governor.
Is she really?
I think that's German.
She's English? But your girlfriend's not, your girlfriend's Sarah, right?
My girlfriend's she's not English. She's Sarah.
Yeah, she's Sarah. She's,
her father's he's Cedric, and her mother's English.
oh, okay, cool. Man, I was so bummed. I was supposed to meet her last night. We were on the same show, but it got canceled.
Oh, the one out in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
She made it all the way to there, and then they told her it was canceled after she arrived.
Yeah, no, that's what happened to me too. But I got there first, and then we bounced out of there.
Yeah, last night my girlfriend had a show in front of 3 people. They were all comics, and then she did another show that got canceled, and then she did a bar show.
You got to text, folks. The show's canceled.
Yeah,
Let us know.
be cool.
It's good.
Well, she's a sweet gal.
What else you got
more of
cooking
this
on
stuff.
that?
I don't know. You know, these are all like sex story. I could talk about some comedy stuff or like, I don't know.
Whatever you think. We like comedy. We like sex. Throw it all out there. We got 15 mins here.
If anybody finds that notebook,
yeah,
they're going right
they
to
can
hell.
have it. I don't care.
All right.
I'm not afraid. I'm clearly here talking to God.
point.
But it feels like you've cleaned up your act a little bit. You seem like a straight in the narrow.
yeah, I think
But
so.
also,
Well,
we're not drinking and fucking, so I don't know.
Yeah, a year and a half ago, I got out of the long-term, the 5-year relationship, and I dipped back in, and it was crazy for a minute, and I did some fun stuff, and some of that was from there, like that last girl, you know, she was a good time, but yeah, I don't know, I am slowing down a little bit. I
Good.
think, you
Well,
know,
you got it out of the cis.
yeah.
gotta do it.
I just want to. I don't know. I think I just want to like take it easy and
Settle
draw
down.
and be. Yeah, I think so. I don't
Sure,
know. I don't know if
sure.
I have to. Like, I never want to have kids. I don't care about that. But
Now you're a wonderful artist. How are you making a living? Painting pictures here?
yeah, so I used to work in television. I worked on Archer, the cartoon
cool.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a background illustrator for that.
Wow.
And a couple other shows on FX. The show called Unsupervised that ran for one season. That was the Always Sunny, some of the
Yeah.
Always Sunny creators, and then the show Chosen. Did you guys ever hear about that?
Jews?
Bobby Monahan.
Oh,
no,
no.
it was about a gay rapper. This gay rapper gets out of prison. It was terrible.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I saw like a 10-minute snippet
Yeah,
and turned it off.
Yeah, it's not good. I didn't work.
snip.
I kind of like, I had already left the studio at that point, but I came back in and worked a little bit more on that. But yeah, I didn't like working in the studio. I felt like a slave a little bit. And you gotta you're just like chained to a computer and you're just drawing 10 hours a day. It's miserable.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly like slavery was.
Yeah, just
Picking
like slavery.
cotton. They make
Yeah.
you-
Air conditioned.
They
And,
make you draw pictures on a computer.
Sure, my boss would go impregnate my girlfriend, and I'd be like, "All right." He was black. He turned it around.
Oh, there you go. That makes it all right.
He wasn't.
I had this one last night. I don't know. I probably shouldn't say this, but we're at this big party at this bar. We're all going nuts for our friend's CD release. I say way too late, and I get the, can I talk to you for a minute, Mark? From a large lady.
Oh, baby.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, shit. I'm heading home. And she goes, it'll take 2 seconds. She goes, look, I just really need to get laid. What do you think?
Whoa! Right out there. Did she already know that about you?
I think so.
Yeah,
Because
had
I was
to be.
like, she was, pretty rough. Great gal, sweet gal. I mean,
I know her?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'll tell you later.
Oh,
and
boy.
I was like, because I'm a equal opportunist, affirmative action. That might be the wrong word, but I'm all about, like, I've been shot down a million times. I know what it feels like. It hurts to be rejected, and I'm no prize, so I want to give. I'm a giver. But I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Couldn't do it. So we're in this bar alone, and I'm just like, yeah, we work together. I pulled the whole we work together thing. So I was like, I got to get out of here. You know, we shouldn't. She goes, look, I'm not into you. I don't like you as a person.
You're an ugly piece of shit.
Yeah, she kept kind of insulting me, but she's like, I just want to knock this out.
Well, that's the man's game. She was negging you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Trying to turn it around and be like, hey, how come she's saying all these things?
Well, I kept saying, maybe later on. I just can't
when
tonight.
we're 60.
Yeah, and she was like, it won't happen. It's now or never. And I was like, well, I guess it's never.
Wow.
Man, that's ballsy.
Yeah, she was ballsy, but she was half in the bag. I mean, she was gone.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Man,
quite
oh,
a
man.
moment.
This is a moment. It's nice to be desired.
Yeah.
I don't know if she desired, but she goes, I heard you're easy.
Well, that's desire. She was desiring sex with you.
I guess, but I think she would have fucked, a paper towel roll at that point.
Well, but that's still desire-y.
All right.
I read it in her desire. That doesn't make sense. Where can some people see your work? I know we're not wrapping up just yet, but let's do a plug now, and then we'll end on a big story.
Oh, yeah, that's great. So right now I'm doing like a big Kickstarter campaign. I'm trying to put this book together for 52 posters I've done over the last year for a show called Whiplash. Both of you guys have been on it.
Yeah, best show in the city.
Yeah, I love it.
Mondays at 11 at UCB.
Wonderful show.
And these posters, I've seen them. They're all fantastic. You got such a unique style.
Oh, thank you, buddy. Yeah, I kind of switch it up. You know, the whole, like, even like when I left like studio work, what I wanted was to be able to switch gears. You know, I think a lot of illustrators, they like working in different kind of ways, you know. So I talked to the guy who books that show, Jeremy, and I said, hey, do you mind if I just kind of do whatever I want? And he doesn't give a shit. So he was like, yeah, cool.
Is it free? Do it.
Yeah, do it. So yeah, I did them all for free, everybody. And the idea here, the concept, it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys know about this, but like in Hollywood, they'll have these movies that are called like tentpole movies, right? So like the Avengers is a movie, they'll put like $1 billion into it, and if it makes, a ton of money, then what it does is it justifies that they can do these smaller movies, like a small Noah Baumbach, like Ben Stiller movie or something
nice.
that. And so like that's kind of how I feel. I feel like I'm kind of like a public defendant for comedians. Like even you guys are doing pretty good, but a lot of guys I work with and girls I work with, they don't have a lot of money, so but I want to do these awesome tour posters and album covers for them, and I can't make a living on it, charging what I charge everybody. And so the idea behind putting this book together is like, hey, maybe if all of kind of comedy comes together and contributes to this, then I can make enough money on one big thing a year, and then I can just keep working and doing the stuff that I want to do, and I think it would also, it's not just like, I don't want to be like so philanthropic about it, but like there's not a lot of like illustrators that are at my level or higher that are involved in comedy, and it's because of that. You got guys like Dave Clock, who does all the Meltdown posters. He's a wonderful guy, but he's mostly at Meltdown, and there's like a lot of perks to that, all the celebrities and everything.
But the Marin guy, the guy who does all the what the fucks, that guy's, have you seen him?
Well, I don't know that there's one guy. I did one of those posters on this last tour.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, like Marin hired like 16 different illustrators to do different legs of the tour.
I can't remember. He also does the Heart of Darkness posters. Greg Barris.
Oh yeah, he's great. He does the hot tub.
Yes,
right.
Yeah, he's really good. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, it's Garnett or Garrett. Oh man,
Kevin Garnett.
No, that's not right. Oh geez, is it?
No,
that's a comedian, right?
Yeah, Brad Garrett.
God, I feel so bad. I hope he doesn't listen to this. I love him. I love you, man. Those hot tub posters are great. But there's a guy named Barry Blankenship up in Seattle. And he does these wonderful posters.
Great name.
But, it's wonderful. Really, but like, these guys all have day jobs. They're like graphic designers by day, whatever. They kind of like, they'll come in and do it. But I want to do this full time. I want to only work for comedians. So,
I
love it.
Yeah, it's great. I think you guys are great, and these shows are amazing.
What's the site? Where's the go? Was it not Kickstarter?
Yeah, you go on Google and search 1 year at Whiplash is the name of the project, and you can go on there, and even if you don't give any money to it, please share it on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. Try to get the word out. And I'll say this: we talked about it a little bit before the podcast, but for you guys, for the listeners of Tuesdays with Stories, this is my favorite podcast. I love this show.
Thank you.
And I want to do something special for you. So if you get the book, what happens after the whole Kickstarter's over is that a survey goes out that asks you what your addresses and everything. Where do you want it to ship? And I'm going to put a little slot there with like a code word, So if people put in Tuesdays, I'm going to design a special poster just for the listeners of this show, and I'll give it to you for free.
Whoa,
that's great.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Sweet guy.
I'm debating what it's going to be. I kind of think it should be the girl bukkake on Joe.
Oh, I love that.
Eggs.
I think that could be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm into that. I'm still into that.
Maybe something Chipotle. Maybe the Chipotle drawing with your two flaccid dicks coming out of it. I don't know.
Maybe us slipping right into a paper towel roll.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that, like a Chinese finger trap.
Oh,
yes.
While,
I love it.
While the bukkake, because I'd love a painting of me being bukkakeed.
Oh, yeah.
Female bukkake.
You do know me. I'll just do it.
Right, and put Joe in heels, will you?
Yeah,
Oh,
and so
sure.
when does the book come out?
So right now there's 20. Well, okay. So when does this come out? 2 weeks after we do it?
We have no idea.
Boy, this could be a month.
Oh, well, I hope it's not a month because it'll be over.
Shit.
There's 28 days left as of right now. So I think November 11th is the final day of the Kickstarter, and you can do that. And if you miss it, you can go to my my website. It's mostlypenises.tumblr.com. Yeah, it's fun. And I'm Joseph Karg on Twitter, and you can follow me and like the stuff, and I'm always posting drawings of comedians and tour posters and stuff like that. So
Yeah, support Joe. He's a great artist.
Great artist. And I was thinking, you always go to people's houses and they have like the Stones, 63 at Pan Am Stadium or whatever, but there's no comedy one.
I know.
Why not?
Because they're like comedy doesn't attract people like me. Like there's not a lot. It's not worth it. People go and they make more money somewhere else. You can't make a career. But I think we could change it. I think we could turn it around.
Yes, let's change it.
Change.
November 11th also is a day that Mark and I will be doing a live Tuesdays with Stories in Boston and Cambridge.
That's
part of
right.
the Boston
That's
Comedy
great.
Festival. So check out the BostonComedyFestival.com. Now, do you got another crazy, kooky, common blood story? I heard a bloody asshole, maybe. Or something.
Oh yeah.
Spin a
Well,
yarn.
I got a P one.
I like P. Oh yeah, I think we teased that earlier.
Yeah,
P-tease.
I got a P1. So my
P1000.
my kooky mom, she a couple years ago when we were still talking, she wanted me to move up to Scranton, Pennsylvania. That's where I was born. It's a real shithole. If you've ever been there.
I've heard things.
And it's terrible. It's just Joe Biden and me and somebody else.
In the office, right?
Oh yeah, in the office, right? Yeah. So she was trying to convince me to come up there. So she meets this girl that's a friend of some friend of hers. This girl, and she goes, "Hey, you should talk to this girl. She likes Batman. That's like her whole pitch."
Nice.
And I'm like, okay,
Anal.
Oh yeah,
Trump's Batman.
right. So I'm like, I don't know, I don't think I want to talk to this girl, but I just broken up with somebody, so I contacted her. She's a 10. So hot, super smoking hot. Yeah, I can't believe she's like. That's how it is in these small towns,
right?
You go to fucking Wendy's and it's like a supermodel working at Wendy's. You're like, what are you doing here? Get out of here! You gotta go to a different place.
She loves Batman.
Yeah, she loves Batman. Well, she really loves Batman. She had a Batman symbol tattooed above her pussy.
Wow!
Yeah, she called it her Bat Cave.
Whoa, that's great.
She said that. I was like, man,
I was love.
2 seconds too short.
Yeah, Bat signal.
I decide, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go up for Christmas. I'll spend 10 days up there. I'm going to go.
That's moving quick.
Oh yeah. It was great. I talked to her on the phone a couple times and she was real game and liked what I had to say.
Wow.
And,
Batcave.
So I didn't tell her. I made it like a big surprise. I got the plane ticket. I told my mom, I was going to come up there and fuck that girl. My mom was like, thumbs up. And no, didn't work. All right.
I liked it.
I didn't get it.
You can't hear
she was
the
getting
audience.
choked.
It's a podcast. You can't hear the audience. They're laughing.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Well, they're tweeting at us saying no more guests is what they're doing. But
So I fly up there and I surprise the girl. I find out, I text her. I say, hey, where are you at right now? She goes, I'm at Barnes & Noble. I show up. She starts crying. She can't believe I'm there, which is maybe a red flag. She's a little too invested already.
Oh, wow.
And we go and we close this bar down. And the first sign of there was anything kind of kooky going on, we come out of the bar and it's ice everywhere. I'm not used to that. It's like snow
Mr. Freeze.
everywhere. Yeah. And the parking lot's empty. And she's like, I got to pee real quick. And she just pops it down and just pisses right in front of me.
Ooh,
wow.
And I was a little bit like, hey, now, all right, this is something. What's going on here? This
That's a
feels
good time.
illegal,
Yeah.
And then
Another flag.
She just like back door open into her car. I'm just like sort of fucking her in the backseat of her car. The cool air's on me.
Oh,
it's
I
like
love
romantic.
cool air.
And it's Christmas time. And I'm like, this is great. My life's wonderful. I'm 22, whatever.
Yeah.
And she just starts crying.
Of course.
And I'm like, what's going on? Oh, are you okay? You hurt? She goes, I'm just so happy.
Oh,
all right.
Urine and tears is a twofer. You know, that's a lot of liquids coming out.
Yeah,
Also-
well, this girl, liquids was her game.
Yeah, apparently. Jesus. Also, did you call your dick the Batmobile?
I should have.
Let's
Jesus
go on in.
Christ. Let's go back in time.
Yeah. Also, is it weird fucking her and just seeing that symbol?
No, if by weird you mean amazing. Like I've been reading comic books since I was 8 years old. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have that first night and it's great. The next night we stay at her sister's place, you know, so we have our own bedroom, which is
Catwoman.
nice.
She's in the Green Lantern.
Yeah. And we're there, we're playing games, like board games and whatever. Finally the night's over and we go in and I'm fucking her again. And then she wants me to come inside of her.
Ooh. The
sister?
Ruin the Bat Cave?
The girl, the main girl. She wants me to flood the Bat Cave.
Yeah, it's going to need a cleaning.
And I refuse. She
Alfred.
starts crying again.
We're all going to be stuck in there.
It's terrible. And I didn't know. I was like, what's your problem? And she's like, I just feel like liquid. That's what it's like.
Liquid.
You coming inside, an exchange of fluid. By the way, the way she kissed was like a dog, like a Saint Bernard, you know, just like licking you up and down. You're dripping off your chin, you know? And I was like, you know, so I'm like, okay, Christ, I don't know. And I didn't come in her and then she cried again and it's all crying. Now I'm starting to like back away from this situation. I was like, I got to see my grandparents a couple days. But, then the last day, she wants to come. So she comes over. My mom's at my grandparents' house, and I'm just like, I'm trying to like kind of like do the slow fade at this point. I'm not being as affectionate. I'm trying not to
Pump the
do
brakes.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, look, I'm gonna go take a shower. And
Liquid.
Yep. And then she perks up. Her fucking dog ears perk up. And she was fine. And she goes, hey, I'll come with you. And I go, all right, whatever, you know.
Sure.
And then I go in there. And then while we're in there, she's, you know, real nervous. She goes, hey, I got to ask you something. I want to ask you something. I'm kind of nervous. And I go, hey, whatever. You know, whatever you want. And she goes, can you pee on me?
Not bad. In the shower.
In the shower, it's not too bad. I was like, yeah, I pee in the shower all the time. No problem. So, you know, I go, okay, but there's only one problem. I'm incredibly kidney shy. I can't, like, even if I'm in a public restroom, I go to the stall. I don't go to the urinal. It's like, I think it's like a biological imperative. It's like you know, you want to make sure you're safe before you you know, put yourself at risk. I don't know how
I'm
it
the
is.
same way.
I grew up without a father.
There you go.
I had one, but he had a mustache.
Oh boy.
I could pee anywhere.
Oh man, you're lucky.
Yeah.
That's New Orleans for you though.
Maybe.
So when it's a necessity. So I'm there and it took me like 45 minutes. I'm just standing there. 45 minutes. I'm getting bored. She's like game for it. She's just being patient, you know, and finally I get like just the beginning of a trickle out and she immediately dropped to her knees and just mouth wide open.
Whoa.
Wanted it right there. And then it like just sucked back into me. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, that's how I like it. And then we had to wait like another 10, 15 minutes. And then I finally get it like barely coming out. And I'm just trying to, it's like a video game. I'm trying to miss her mouth. And her mouth's coming after her. I'm like on the shoulder, on the tits.
Hey, if she wants it, put it in the mouth.
I know. You know what? If I was an older man at the time, I would have respected her.
Sure.
You know what I would do is pee in her eyes and make a break for it.
Oh, man.
Wow, it's like a little boy at a fountain.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was great. I've lived a charmed life, I think.
Yeah, well, it looks like we got a lot more on there, so we'll have to have you back on, and we'll plug the next art project.
Cool, man.
And you got to get back on Craigslist and do some living.
I guess so. I got to pump my dick up. I can get some Viagra or something.
Boy, that bat girl is crazy.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy.
That's one of 4 pee stories I have.
Oh, boy. We should do a whole series.
I'm going to start my own podcast. Pee-cast.
We'll do volumes.
You're in luck.
I like it.
There's your name.
So we got to wrap it up. So throw your Twitter out there again.
All right, it's Joseph Karg, or at Joseph Karg on Twitter.
Karg.
Karg. Please, for the love of God, do the Kickstarter. I'll give you your free thing. If you love the podcast, you get something cool for free. I'm not going to make it after that, so this is the only time you can get it. Exclusive.
Yeah, these posters are lunch, people.
Yeah, lunchy posters.
And all the people who are on the show are going to blow up. So you get to have the poster when they were nothing.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll Maybe we'll bump this up to next week. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Bump it up.
November 11th, Mark and I will be live at the Boston Comedy Festival. Go to bostoncomedyfestival.com for details. I posted the link. Check out my Facebook, Comedian Joe List. And email us tuesdayswithstories@gmail.com. We're getting so many nice emails. There's too many emails to respond to, and but they're all so nice and thoughtful and really, really just great. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mark, what do you got over there?
Check me on check out the Tuesdays page on Facebook, by the way. I post all the shit on there, and we got Rockaway coming up, but who knows when this will come out.
Yeah.
And then I'm at Homefield Comedy Club in Miami in mid-November, and I'm also doing the Dark Comedy Festival in Toronto.
The Black
Comedy Festival. It's called the Chitlin Circuit. It's me and Earthquake and Monique. So yeah, come on out to that. Check the website for dates and listen to us on Sirius if you want. Check that out.
Well, that might be over by the time this comes out also.
Oh yeah, that's a trial run.
Who knows? But I think we'll bump this up to next week. So check us out the next 2 Mondays from 7 to 8 p.m. live on Sirius. I don't know what the radio is.
There you go. And
Or just listen here.
Email, tweet, and we love you. We'll see you all in hell.
Yeah.
Thank you, and go
We're
Batman.